What's going on, everyone? It's Justin here, and welcome back to another Cool Tech episode where we're taking a look at some of the items that came in to the office in the last couple months. And I think these episodes are especially exciting at the start of the year because we've seen a lot of product announcements and they're just starting to roll out. And so in this episode, we have a whole bunch of variety, including a dual screen laptop that we're going to take a closer look at, my new favorite camera, Leica's new Sofort 2, which is their little instant camera and the newer version of it, as well as a phone cleaner, revolutionary toothbrush, and we're also going to be taking a look at a really cool car that was a very rare experience. So, as always, if you guys enjoy this video, let me know some products that you would like me to check out in the next Cool Tech. And I've also been rolling out a lot of the home series, which you have been waiting a long time for. And we have some car videos coming up. And so if you guys enjoy this and would like to win an item from this video, just go ahead and drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below with your Instagram username. And we'll be contacting the winner directly on Instagram in 2 weeks. But as always, we have a lot to cover in this one, so let's just go ahead and get started. So in the start of the year, it's always interesting to see what is going to be the trend in each industry. And for the past few years, we've seen smartphones evolve into folding models and flip models, utilizing flexible displays to increase real estate and productivity, but the computer aspect is also an interesting one. And Asus of all companies has done a lot of experimenting with utilizing displays in different ways, whether it is from design, practicality, or productivity standpoint, and this is the latest example. It's a Zenbook Duo from Asus, and it features dual OLED displays that come together to give you more screen real estate, whether it is in a mode like this, in a sideways dual screen mode, or just like a traditional laptop by clipping on the keyboard back on it, just like the way I originally opened the laptop. It really does bring back the original element of it, and it doesn't add any thickness at all with the secondary display, and that is why it is an impressive feat of engineering. The fact that both the displays are exactly the same is great as well. OLED touchscreens with full color gamut and 120 Hz refresh rate, and it is really geared towards productivity. I wouldn't really say it's a gaming computer. Asus has other computers for that, but I just think it is super cool and fun, but it's also useful, and that is what I wanted to highlight in this look. So the mode that I would personally use it in is I would be doing productivity work on the main screen, positioned in a way just like the typical laptop, but on the second screen you can have a movie, maybe another window open to increase your productivity and just being able to do multiple things at once, whatever that is. The keyboard itself is also really nice. The computer is also powerful enough to be able to support the two displays as well as productivity tasks, as it has the Intel H processor, as well as up to 32 gigabytes of fast RAM and 1 terabyte of PCIe 4 NVMe storage. So the way they spec it out is able to handle probably a reasonable amount of video editing. You can do programming as well as photo editing, but I think for people who are doing like spreadsheets, documents, I think realtors will also benefit from this. Having the extra screen is going to be very handy, and that is specifically why you're going to want to consider this computer. So perhaps my favorite product of 2024 so far is the Fujifilm X100VI. And I had the opportunity to actually have an early access to this camera, and from the very beginning of the prototype, I knew it was going to be a staple in my camera bag for many years. Because a portable camera that has multiple use cases and purposes, as well as a good out-of-camera look, is what I'm always looking for. This latest generation has a 40 megapixel sensor, as well as 6 stops of in-body stabilization, and those are the two key main features. Some of the other features include being able to capture video internally at 6K 422 10-bit in F-Log2, and so you're able to color grade the footage effectively, combine it with some of the other cameras that you might have in the cinema lineup, and the form factor is pretty much unchanged. It is millimeters larger, a bit heavier, but with all the hardware that is packed in, being the first update in 5 years, I think Fujifilm has checked every aspect of what an incredible digital compact fixed lens camera should be in 2024. So the next set of products right here are from Switchbot, and we've checked out some of their products in the past and set up a smart home experience where we're able to automate the shades and also utilize some of their other button pressing accessories to enable automation on light switches and stuff. And the reason why it's really nice to have the lineup of products from Switchbot is because they actually integrate and harmonize with your existing setup instead of having to take everything down and add a new system for your smart home. And this right here is the new Switchbot Curtain 3, as well as the Switchbot Blind Tilt. And it's a way to automate your window shades and your coverings in a way that you can set a schedule, control it from your phone, and also be able to combine it with your entire existing home ecosystem. So beginning with the Switchbot 3, this latest generation has a few key features. It is quieter than ever before, and so you essentially don't even notice it at all when it is actually adjusting your shades. And it has a lot more force and is able to move up to 15 kilograms of curtains. And it also has touch and go functionality. And so if you want to manually control your shades, you just have to pull on it a little bit and it will start to pull it back towards the direction that you told it to. And what I love about this is that you also can't see it at all. It just hides behind your shades very subtly. When it comes to the battery life, it is also a 3,350 milliamp hour battery, which means it lasts about 8 months, which is a long time, especially if you're using this on a daily basis and you charge it via USB Type-C. Or you can also attach the solar panel accessory, which means you never have to charge it. It comes in at a price point of about 90 bucks, and it's a really affordable way to transform your shades and turn them into automated smart shades. So if you have blinds instead of shades or curtains, then this next product is here for you, and it is the Switchbot Blind Tilt. It allows you to automate your blinds without having to play with like the annoying wands of traditional blinds, and it's able to completely automate that process to once again be able to tie in with your curtain and the rest of the smart home accessories from Switchbot. This is one that can install in seconds. You go ahead and attach it to the wand itself, and it utilizes the motor to provide micro adjustments to the blinds itself after a very quick calibration. It is super precise at up to 2 degrees of adjustment, and you just go ahead and download the app, install on your current blinds, and after it is calibrated, you can start using it right away. And from there, you can take this all to the next level by setting certain schedules within the app, or also utilizing voice assistants such as Amazon, Google, or Apple. It's super compatible with any small, medium, or large wand. And with the solar panel, you're never gonna have to charge it. And on top of that, it is just a much more effective and easy way to adjust natural light into your living or workspace. Switchbot also makes a Bluetooth remote, which is a compact switch that can control all of your Switchbot devices, so you can easily wirelessly control your curtains or blinds. So if you guys want to go and check out all these products for yourself, they're all very affordable. So I'm going to drop a link down below, and a huge thanks to Switchbot for sponsoring this video. Another camera that I picked up recently though is the Leica Sofort 2, and it's the latest generation of an instant camera that is able to capture an image as it is and print it out on the spot. And there are different options that you can buy. Some of them are very cheap and affordable. Others can be very premium and expensive like this, but I just love trying out these instant cameras. It comes in many different colors, including a black, white, and red. And although I had a tough time deciding, I went with the white one. And it features a sub 5 megapixel sensor, fixed frame, and you're able to adjust like the focus and stuff. But what's cool is that it has combined elements of analog and digital in a good balance. You're able to select through your different images and preview them on the screen here, and that serves as a viewfinder. But you can also delete, skip, and decide which photos you ultimately want to print. I know the main element of having a disposable or instant camera is being able to just capture the moment and not think about it, and not being too refined with that. But for those who want to still be very intentional with what you shoot, but not waste any film, then you're going to be able to take advantage of that with the Sofort 2. But the way you load it up is just placing it in here. You can also reload it and print with the button up here. And so even though it is very digital camera in its essence, it is also having some of the analog features when it comes to the printing technology and the image that it captures. So perhaps one of the most revolutionary and disruptive pieces of tech that I've seen come through at 2024 is the Laifen Wave electric toothbrush. And there's a few reasons why. It's the price point, the functionality and its effectiveness, as well as the price of the ecosystem and the app and customizability. It's an electric toothbrush that comes in at a fraction of the price of some of the leading electric toothbrushes, while also having different features and also proprietary oscillation patterns. So now let's get down to pricing. The Laifen Wave starts at a price of $69.99 for the ABS white model, $79.99 for the aluminum one, and $99.99 for the premium stainless steel one. And that alone is a very affordable price point, considering there are also 3 brush heads included. But on top of that, the brush heads are $10 for a set of 3 or $16 for a set of 6. And that is way cheaper than any other electric toothbrush that I've seen on the market. But on top of that, it is also a lot better. Beginning with the design, it looks incredible. It is essentially something that Apple has designed in terms of its look, its material, and its approach being completely seamless, but even from the packaging and cable onwards, it all screams premium, and it's a completely unibody design in its shape. You see here, there are no seams at all, and especially for a product that is surrounded by water in the sink or the shower, even though every electric toothbrush essentially is waterproof, in the long run, having no areas for water to seep through is still a good design touch. On top of that, I just love the fact that the buttons are nicely touch capacitive, and it's also very simple and easy to use. You just go ahead and press it, and there are 3 different preset modes that you're able to adjust through the app itself and customize the specifics of it, which we're going to talk about a bit later. When it comes to the brushing, why is it better than some of the other competitors? And we're going to show you guys some comparisons between the Laifen Wave and some competing toothbrushes that are 2 to 3 times more expensive in this scenario, and it starts with the oscillation motor. Instead of vibrating or rotating, this motor brushes your teeth in the way that a dentist recommends, and that is up and down horizontally. And this is able to oscillate at 60 degrees back and forth, and so when you're brushing your teeth, it brushes things away from the teeth itself instead of just like vibrating and smudging it everywhere. And after using it for 3 months, it did take some getting used to, but it really is the most effective way to clean your teeth properly. I really like using the gentle brush, but there's also the whitening brush, and you can use the different brush heads to decide which one is right for you before reordering. But on top of that, it is also a very powerful toothbrush that is 3 times more efficient than the leading competitor. With the app itself, you're able to adjust through 3 different settings, including vibration strength, oscillation range, and oscillation speed from a level of 1 to 10, and also a high frequency mode that allows you to control it from 11 to 20 on the vibration aspect. I found that having everything set to the medium and its presets worked really well, but you can change it and have the options depending on the time of day and the type of brush that you're looking for. And just having these 3 different presets right here is just a lot better than having all these different modes listed out, as you can really customize it exactly the way that works right for you. So with all that being said, I love the fact that it has a beautiful design, build quality, finish options, but also the fact that it works better than the other options I've had on the market. And I've been an electric toothbrush user for as long as I could remember, and I'm using the Laifen Wave for about 3 months now, and it has really changed the way that my teeth and my mouth feels after brushing my teeth, just because of how effective it is. And I mean, the fact that it comes in at an incredible price point is just a big bonus. And if you guys want to go ahead and check this out for yourself, I'm gonna drop a link down below, but it's a product that we've followed for quite a while now, and I absolutely love it. Something else that I also picked up recently is the Simplehuman Cleanstation. First off, it comes in at a price point that is premium, and Simplehuman products are all in the premium tier, and you have to know that when you're going into it, but this is kind of like a different take on a smartphone cleaner. With the whole sanitizing and stuff that came through the pandemic phase, there were a lot of products that were available before and now after, and a lot of them were geared towards cleaning your smartphone, which is arguably the most dirty product that you would own because it goes with you everywhere. And so this uses UVC lighting, and it's able to sanitize your phone to 99.9% in just 30 seconds. Some of the ones that I've had in the past took just about 10 minutes, and so By popping your phone in when it is plugged in, it will drop your phone down, it'll make that sound when it's ready to go, and the light on the top is also really fun, and it's just a cool accessory that I now have at my desk. And in terms of its effectiveness, I was just as skeptical as anyone else as to whether or not it is really cleaning your phone, but from seeing some scientific tests on YouTube of like Petri dish tests and stuff, it does seem to do the job. It comes in 2 different finishes, including a matte silver, brushed, white, and black, but personally I just wanted something that not only matched all of my other Apple products in the silver aluminum, but also didn't have any fingerprints and smudges showing, and so this is the best option. And I mean, it's a cool item, so I just have it sitting at my desk, and even though it is relatively expensive, I do really enjoy it, and it is something that I have been using regularly. So the next thing that we're checking out are some computer cases, and this right here is the Antec C3 and the Antec C8 ARGB cases. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some of the features, but first, let's talk about the design. What makes these cases unique is the fact that it has this angular glass that goes all the way around the edge. I absolutely love the way that it is designed, but in terms of the functionality, there are definitely some benefits there as well. From a functionality standpoint, it also features a dual chamber that provides independent cooling for CPU, GPU, and PSU and drives. That also has airflow partition that blocks air exchange between the 2 chambers. It also features a pre-installed ARGB fan with built-in fan controller, and the top and bottom can accommodate 3 140mm fans or 2 160mm fans. It could also fit 3 360mm thick radiators at the same time, and they also include all the appropriate brackets, but in terms of the case itself, I just absolutely love the way it looks. Whether you have a matte white or a matte black setup, there is availability in both a white and black model at $129 without fans or $159 with fans. They also have the C3 that once again has the same 270-degree view with the 45-degree glass beveling technology. So either way, depending on how you want to build your custom gaming PC, both of these are incredible options. They're exactly the same in terms of their design approach, aside from the size itself. So if you guys want to go ahead and check these out for yourself, I'm going to drop a link down below as well. So a type of product that I always enjoy checking out is whenever there is a modern tech approach to an analog method. This right here is kind of a modern day typewriter, I would say. The Freewrite Alpha is a portable version. They do have a few different models, but it brings back drafting, writing, and note-taking to its original form in a distraction-free experience. You have a full-size mechanical keyboard here, and it has this retro modern look to it, and you just go ahead and set it down, turn on the thing, and you can start typing away, and it'll just show you the sentence. And I think the reason why this is really effective for any writers or script writers, or even just idea drafting, is that instead of getting too caught up on what you wrote in the previous paragraph or sentence, it focuses you on your specific ideas and thoughts in the given time without having a whole bunch of other apps to like navigate to and get distracted if a text message comes through. I can really see why this product is effective, and you can obviously export it out and have it wirelessly sync with the cloud to then be able to go back, organize your ideas, and refine them for publishing or usage, whatever you do with that. But I really, really like the idea of this. It definitely comes in at a price point, and it is a niche product, but I think for any writer out there, this really is something that, as someone like myself who does get very distracted, this is really effective if I had to just sit down and write my ideas out. And so, yeah, this is like the Freewrite Alpha, and as someone who has tested out a lot of keyboards, I would say that it has a good hybrid feel. Definitely more mechanical, but I think if you like the typewriter effect, this is what can achieve it. The next thing right here is the Courant Mag 3, and I always love it when there's something that I use every single day that has a newer generation that is refined and improved from a tech and design aspect, and this is one of them. On my bedside table right now, I have the Courant Catch 3, and that is a wireless charging pad that also has a little tray for your keys and your wallet and EDC gadgets, and this is the improved version that has a MagSafe charger and also an additional charger for stuff like AirPods and accessories. I mean, I love the way this looks. I like how it is similar to my Courant Catch 3 in a lot of ways, but it has a nice round perforation that goes around the side, and the more rounded off design also just goes better as a bedside table accessory. It also has a USB-C port on the back that has a 10-watt output, but when it comes to charging speed, this is where I have a few complaints, where the MagSafe is a 7.5 watt and the wireless charging pad is a 5 watt, so it definitely isn't the fastest charger out there, but with it being a nightstand accessory, it doesn't really need to charge that fast, and so I have no problem with it for my own functionality. But I just think it looks incredible, and the leather material and quality of it is so good. The reason why the MagSafe element makes sense, even for a product that lays flat, is so you don't have to worry about having to align it. I always have to reach over to my bedside table, place my phone down and grab it, and sometimes it just misses the wireless charging placement by a little bit, and you wake up and your phone isn't charged. And so in this case, you can just go ahead and slide it onto the magnet and it will guide its way into perfect alignment, and that is a really good change from the Catch line. So if you have a phone with MagSafe, the Courant Mag 3 is the one to buy. So lately we've been checking out a lot of smartphones, from nothing, from OnePlus, as well as from Honor, and I mean, this year is a really exciting year for design, limited editions, and camera iterations in the smartphones, especially in the Android world. And usually OnePlus launches a budget model and the flagship model, but this right here is their top model right now. You take a look at the back, there's a triple camera setup, which we're gonna talk a little bit more about, but it's just an absolutely beautiful phone that still goes back to some of its roots of a sandstone finish. When it comes to the camera, they still have the partnership and collaboration with Hasselblad, and you can see the little elements in the detail with the metal and the finish. It just looks absolutely incredible, and companies have found a great way to integrate the camera bump a little bit more aesthetically. And I personally really love what they've done with the combination of the wide angle, the main, and the periscope, because as you guys know, I love periscope cameras. As for the specs and display, it is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor with an Adreno 750 GPU, and you can also go all the way up to 24 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabytes of storage. The battery size is 5,400 milliamp hours, which is really respectable, and honestly, I've always loved OnePlus's software and their Oxygen OS. It is one of the cleanest and effective one, especially with a few additional features added, and it's just been a very consistent lineup of phones that I can continue to recommend. The OnePlus Open phone was one of my favorite folding phones of 2023, but yeah, this is their current flagship, and if you're looking for a flagship phone that has the caliber of one but doesn't have an overwhelming amount of features, then this is definitely the one for you, as it's still very competitive if you compare it to the pricing of like the Samsung Galaxy line. So this right here is the Belkin Stand Pro. And to be honest, I actually saw this come out quite a few months ago, and originally I didn't really think much of it, but I saw some videos of it in action and decided to go ahead and check it out. It is a product that is good for video conferencing, for video recording and vlogging, and it is able to rotate and tilt 360 degrees and keeping your face or body in frame. It works with FaceTime and other video conferencing apps, and has a very quiet and smooth operation, as well as a 15-watt MagSafe wireless charging with power supply built in. It also has a built-in battery up to 5 hours, and so you can use it hands-free, but it is essentially a product that is very easy to turn on, set up, and go. And as I said, it's really good for any vloggers out there who don't have an external videographer or somebody filming for you to be able to still film yourself. It is no app required. You go ahead and pair it via NFC and it is good to go. And with such a seamless accessory, it is one that is really easy to start using right away. So in this Cool Tech series, we've checked out all different types of things. You've got speakers, you've got cars, home tech, but once in a while you have something that is a little bit outside of the box but still represents modern technology, and that is what this series is all about. It showcases things that I'm excited about, including design and tech and how those things come together, and the Lamborghini Countach is a perfect example of that. This reimagined version of the 1974 Countach features a V12 802 horsepower engine It also has an electric supercapacitor and 4-wheel steering and all-wheel drive performance to be able to give you a 0 to 60 of 2.8 seconds. It might look classic from the outside with modern touches, these amazing LED lights both on the front and back, as well as the bronze touches with the beautiful wheels on the side, but it also has a fully digital dash. It's a very interesting looking car on its own, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of its details. So as we make our way from the back, the first thing you're going to notice is all of the sharp lines, and that is very characteristic of the original Countach, where it just has this very sharp design that slopes over to the squared off front. And there are elements that have been brought over from that, but also ways where it differs, of course, in the reimagined model. Here on the side, you have a very large side pod with carbon fiber, and it just has like this triangle that emulates the design that you're going to see over on the front as well. But the way it slopes is just so unique, and it's what makes this an absolutely beautiful car in my opinion. It comes around to the front here, and the way the grille is connected all the way across as it comes down to its front slope showcases a modern element of the design, and one of the areas that really differs from the original Countach, but I think still overall has the same characteristic shape to it. The front lights are also another area of major difference. One of the things that was best known in the original Countach is the LED lights that are able to flip open and close, and in this case you have these modern LED lights that have been shaped the same way as what you're going to find on the bottom lights of the original Countach, but with a modern twist. So as you take a look at the side of the Countach, what makes it so unique is how it has like such interesting slopes. You have this very long rear panel with the mid-mounted engine, the side vents here, and the perfect amount of carbon fiber that kind of triangulars over to the front here into the very wide side pod. As I mentioned, this is essentially a rebodied Aventador, so it has a lot of the similar characteristics of that when it comes to design, but at the same time, it looks completely different and unique and of its own. So as we make our way to the back of the car, I've got to say the front already looks amazing, but I specifically love the rear. They've taken the design that is very aggressive in the original Countach with a massive aggressive spoiler and kind of changed it in its own way, where it's able to retract when needed, but at the same time, these adaptation of modern hexagonal LEDs are really cool, and I think it's specifically my favorite design touch so far. The spoiler is also able to open and close, but overall it's just a very sharp design that isn't too sharp, but just enough. And that is why I think from a design standpoint, they've done an incredible job here. And I think the white really showcases the levels of contrast and details with the leading lines of the car itself from the front to back. So now we're sitting inside the interior of the Countach, and what I noticed when I saw the original model is just how simple the interior is. And it really is a minimalist experience that really focuses on just the driving itself, and there are so many ways you're able to customize the interior of a Lamborghini, down to the colors, the stitch, the patterns, and this one in particular has a really unique and beautiful white leather finish that has elements of black contrast that really carry out the same design elements that are seen on the outside with that bronze touch that adds that touch of color to it as well. I think this combination itself looks really nice because it embraces the minimalism of the original model while still feeling relatively spacious despite it being a supercar that is so low to the ground, and that is thanks to this white leather finish on the headliner as well, and this little opening that allows some natural light into the cockpit. Something I noticed with a lot of supercars is that it is a very dark cabin, and that's not only a little bit tough for filming, but at the same time you might feel a little bit claustrophobic over time. And with this white finish, it really does feel like an experience of its own that takes you back to the past, and some of the elements of modern technology that have also been integrated, which is obviously something that we have to talk about as well, is in the fully digital dash. There's also a fully digital touchscreen here, and all your buttons are located in the middle. But when it comes to the steering wheel, you'll see that there are no buttons on it. It is really just focused on the driving. And that just goes back to the exterior design, where there are elements that are very minimalist, paired up with unique details from the past that you're able to point out and appreciate. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and as always, if you enjoyed it, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know if there are any other products that you would like me to check out in future episodes, and I'll see you all in the next one.